Welcome down to the Matcave. You made your way here for another Video Games Monthly unboxing. We have 5 potential mystery games here in this box. That's what I'm signed up for, to get from VGM every single month and build my retro gaming collection. You can get games ranging from the Atari 2600 all the way through to the PS4 and the Xbox One. It is crazy, and it's not a rental service. You keep the games. The deal is, though, it's a mystery of what's in the box. On the website, when you sign up for one of their tiers, I'm set up to receive 5 games per box, but you can change that quantity and sign up for different tier levels. You choose which consoles you want to collect for, and you check it off every month to decide which ones you're going to grow. I have set up here for, I believe, the NES, the Super NES, the N64, the Sega Genesis, and then I believe I added the Dreamcast, and I may have added Xbox One for this month, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember what I set it to, but either way, our primary focus is the retro games to build our cartridge collection. So we're going to find out what we have in store for us, so stick around because you're about to find out what the mystery games are. All right, everybody, we're about to dive into the box. What we do around here is we set this up so that I can't see in the box, you can't see in the box, and every pull is a surprise for all of us. And then we're going to talk about each one of the games that we pull out of the box. We may potentially get some bonus games, but it's been a while since we've got one, in all honesty. So at minimum, we have 5 games inside this box and potentially a fun little trinket. So we're going to turn the box around. We're going to open it up here, and we're going to turn the flaps here and set this up off to the edge, where, there we go. I can't see in the box, you can't see in the box, and we're going to find out what we get in this month's Video Games Monthly box. Here we go, everybody. Let's reposition here with the microphone, and let's see if I can find the paperwork first and find out if we just get the normal social media card, or do we have any bonus games this month? Let's check it out. All right, I feel a whole lot of bubble wrap right here. Oh, they used the shipping thing as the bubble wrap, which has bubble wrap in it. Hey, I'll save that in case I need to ship something. So there we go. That was the protective layer. Let's see if I can find the card. I did not find the card, but I found the trinket. I think we got a sticker. It's either a sticker or a tattoo, but I think it's a sticker. So let's find out what the trinket is for this month. And we've got, oh my God, we're going to have to try this out. We got a Video Games Monthly sticker in the style of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out with a passcode on it. Guys, that's the right number of digits for Mike Tyson's Punch-Out on the NES. We need to try that and see where that brings us. We definitely got to treasure it. That has to be a real code right there. Is that a code to start at Mike Tyson? It might be. Holy moly, what a pull. We're going to put that aside, and I'm going to be testing that out. That is fantastic. I can't wait to see what happens with it. All right, I found the card. Let's see if we have any bonuses. Here we go. We've got our standard social media card. So that means we have 5 games inside the box. This is the standard social media card talking about sharing your experiences online, and you get entered into raffles to potentially win extra games and extra boxes and stuff like that. So definitely cool that Video Games Monthly does that. We'll put the card aside for now, and now let's find out what game number 1 is for this month. Let's see what we got going on here. I feel more bubble wrap, and I've got a NES cartridge. Let me get that up right here. All right, we're starting 8-bit, everybody, on the Nintendo Entertainment System. Game number 1. Here we go. We got, oh, this is a great game from Capcom. 1942, the arcade classic that was ported to the Nintendo Entertainment System. I love these shooter-style games. This is one of those, it's vertical, and you're flying the ship upward and getting just going after the high score and trying to beat each level. There are little mini boss battles, if I remember correctly, in 1942, fighting like different aircraft carriers and bigger ships and stuff. And then you get like upgrades to your weapons as you go. But this is one of those games that I loved playing on the Capcom arcade machines in old school arcades and now in the local arcades that I get to go to as well. But 1942 is such a fun game. This is in the same vein as games like River Raid and stuff like that. Love shooters like this, and I've never actually owned 1942 on the NES, so this is great. A really cool entry into the collection here. 1942 by Capcom. Let's take a look at the condition of the cartridge itself. There's definitely some wear and tear on here. The sticker is in, for the most part, in good condition. Little bits of like scratches, and you can see the corners are peeling up ever so slightly there. Not too bad, but nothing too crazy. There is something, it says head on the back of the cartridge. I don't know why, but somebody wrote that in a marker or a pen. I should be able to clean that off of there. And then there's a little bit of stuff on the bottom end of the cartridge. So this thing has definitely been used. It's definitely been around for a bit. I don't know why somebody would write head on the back of it, but let's take a look at the pins. And the pins, they're okay. I've seen worse. They definitely do need a little bit of a cleaning. I know it's so hard to see those on the camera, but these do definitely need to get a little bit of a cleaning before I pop this into the NES or even into the Retron 5. But what a great start to this. 1942 by Capcom on the NES, an absolute classic. Really great game. Really great game. Good pull right there. Good start to the month. An absolute classic. Let's find out what game number 2 is. It's going back in. We're going back in. All right. This feels like this is an N64 cartridge. All right, we're going 64-bit, sticking with Nintendo, adding to the N64 collection. Let's find out what we got. Man, we are keeping things retro. We got the Namco Museum for the N64. I actually didn't realize that Namco made the museum game for the N64. I know that was on the PlayStation and the Xbox. I'm not surprised they put it on the N64, but that's pretty awesome. I love the old school Namco games, and this looks like this includes Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Galaga, Galaxian, Pole Position, and Dig Dug. Namco Museum 64 on the N64, and this thing has definitely been around. You can see the sticker is a little bit beat up on the bottom edge there, and then obviously there was pricing stickers here that I'll have to peel off, and a little bit of residue of another one towards the bottom end. But overall, the front end, not terrible. I can clean that up pretty good. Back end has got a little bit of dirt and stuff on the back, but nothing terrible. We've definitely seen way worse than that, and these are older games, so they've been around, they've been loved. Let's take a look at the pins. Pins are looking really nice, actually. It's, one of the darker boards. It's always hard to see on camera, but the pins are looking pretty darn good, so I think that's going to be fine. I could probably use the heat gun to get the price tag sticker off, because this one looks like somebody tried to peel it. I'll probably use the heat gun to get that off of there too. But overall, not terrible condition. The cartridge, nothing rattling in it or anything, but this is another game I've never owned. I do love the Namco Museum collections that come out on the different consoles. It's a great way, like when you're already playing a certain console and then you feel like playing like an arcade classic, you could stick to the same console and pop these in, and that's a great collection of games right there from Namco. So they're all classics, so you can't go wrong with it. So that's awesome. That's a really fun pull right there. Game number 2 on the Nintendo 64. So we're sticking with look at this. We're like all Nintendo right now. We started with a Trinket with a code for an NES game. Then we got an actual NES game, and then a Nintendo 64 game. Is this box all Nintendo? It could be. It could very well be. Let's find out. Let's see what game number 3 is. All right, let's see. I feel more bubble wrap there. And then I'm grabbing a... Oh, this might be a Master System. This might be Sega Master System. Who called it? Ted with the timing. I think I'm holding a Master System cartridge. Oh, actually, no. Maybe Genesis? They may be Genesis. I'm pretty sure this is Sega. All right, let's find out what we got. I don't know, the shape feels a little weird to me. I don't know why, but let's find out what game number 3 is. Here we go. It's Sega, and it is Jeopardy. This is Jeopardy on the Sega Genesis. I don't know if I have. Oh no, I have Wheel of Fortune. I have Wheel of Fortune on the Sega Genesis. So now I get to add to the lineup Jeopardy by Game Tech. And I think Game Tech also did the Wheel of Fortune game, if I remember correctly. Game show games on the 16-bit era and even the 8-bit era were actually a lot of fun, and those games worked pretty darn well. I actually love playing Wheel of Fortune on the Sega Genesis and on the NES. It's really fun. And then the Jeopardy games, it's really fun because when they start to do like kind of pop culture questions and stuff on there, it brings you back when you're playing an older system because you're seeing like questions for things where it's like of that time, and it's pretty cool to get that stuff on there. But this is awesome. Sega Genesis Jeopardy. It's nice to add something like this to the collection. I do enjoy games like this. They're fun for like quick sit downs and stuff, and it's fun multiplayer as well, especially if you like trivia games. I always loved watching Jeopardy growing up. I haven't watched in a very, very long time. I know the show is obviously very different without Alex Trebek anymore. They've done a bunch of like different like Celebrity Jeopardy things, and then of course there was the spoof Celebrity Jeopardy on SNL. Those are always absolutely iconic. They should make a video game of that, of SNL Celebrity Jeopardy. That would be great. But let's take a look at the cartridge condition. Front end of the cartridge looking really good. There's a little bit of like some kind of residue on the bottom end of the sticker right here. So I would just kind of clean that up just a little bit. But overall, the sticker is in really good condition, even on the spine right there. Back end of the cartridge, just your normal wear and tear, little scratches here and there, but nothing bad. And then the pins are looking nice and clean. Pins are really clean on there, so that's awesome. Game Tech did also do the Wheel of Fortune game. Yeah, and they did Family Feud. There we go. Yeah, I recognized their logo. But that's fun. I like games like this. No, certainly not like one of the best games to get ever, but for me, I think that's pretty fun. So there it is, Sega Genesis Jeopardy. What do you guys think of this one? Let me know down in the comments. If you're watching the replay, let me know in the chat. Do you like these game show games on a video game console? I think they're fun, but they're not for everybody. I get it. There we go. 3 games in. We've got 2 more in this box, and we're going to find out what we have. Are we sticking to cartridges, or are we going to have any disc-based games inside this box? Let's find out what game number 4 is. I feel an NES cartridge. Let me flip it around so I have it upright. Okay, we're going back to 8-bit. We're going back to the Nintendo Entertainment System. Are we going to get another arcade port? Let's see what we got. Hey, we got a duplicate, and I know for a fact I put this on the list. That's okay. I'll trade it in. We got 10-Yard Fight, the Black Box Classic, again on the NES. We got this game either in the last box or the box before that. But in all honesty, when I get duplicates, I have local retro game shops and I can bring them in for trade-ins. So not terrible. I mean, this is a classic game. I remember when we got this, we were talking about the title because I was having a whole like Mandela effect experience going on because I didn't remember. I remember the game, I just didn't remember the title being 10-Yard Fight, and it still seems weird to me. I don't know why, but there we go. We do have a duplicate. It doesn't happen often around here, but sometimes that can happen. So there we go. It's a Black Box Classic. Let's take a look at the condition anyway, and the sticker front end here is in great condition, looking really, really good. Spine is looking really good as well. Back end of the cartridge got a little bit of residue up there from something, a little sticker, and there's like normal wear and tear right there. And then the pins, the board has a little bit of buildup on it. So I'm gonna have to open this one actually to clean this board. I don't know if that'll show up on there. You can see the edging right there. There's a little bit of that buildup on there. So that's good. This is going to need a little bit more than just the 1-up card. And when I see build up like that on the pins here, that tells me there's probably going to be a bit more on the rest of the board inside here. The boards inside the NES cartridges aren't all that big to begin with, but I do want to open this up and make sure that we get this as clean as possible, especially if I'm going to trade it in. I only like to I make sure games work before I trade them in. We got the 5-screw style cartridge here, and I have the kit with the proper screwdrivers and everything for these. So I will open it up and make sure that it is all cleaned up before we do any trade-ins, and then verify that it works. But there you go. A duplicate, but that's okay. That doesn't bother me. 10-Yard Fight, the Black Box Classic on the NES. There we go. Game number 4. And we are going to dive in to our final game of the box, our 5th game for July of 2026. Let's see if we're staying cartridge-based or if we're going to get a disc-based game. Let's find out what we got. The bubble, there's a lot of bubble wrap in there. All right, we've got a disc. We have a jewel case, a thin jewel case. So when I set this up for discs, I know I set up for Dreamcast. I may have still had PS1 on the list. I think I added Xbox One, which there could possibly be a loose Xbox One game, but usually when we got the more recent games, we get the case. So this is most likely either PS1 or a Dreamcast game. So let's find out. Game number 5. We've got a Dreamcast game. It is sideways. Let me turn it. What do we got here? A THQ made game just called Skateboarding. It says Skateboarding featuring Andy McDonald. A skateboarding game. It's MTV Sports Skateboarding. I didn't see that before. Made by THQ, brought to us by MTV, and it's on the Sega Dreamcast. I have the Tony Hawk games on the Dreamcast, so I guess this was potentially a competing game made by MTV to try to compete with the Tony Hawk games. I don't know how well anyone was doing with that, with competing. I've never played this before. In fact, I didn't even know this game existed. Looks like this game was definitely at some sort of shop. It's got their barcode sticker here. And obviously no case, no manual or anything like that. This is a loose game. Let's take a look at the condition of the disc. The jewel case is fine. Front end of the CD. Looking good with the artwork there with the skateboarder. We got MTV Sports showing on there. And then the back end of the disc looks practically brand new. There ain't a scratch on this thing. This thing may have never been played. I've never heard of this game. It says it's featuring Andy McDonald. I don't know who that is. I don't know much about, the sport of skateboarding and everything, or competitive skateboarding. I know, obviously, Tony Hawk. Everybody knows Tony Hawk. But I never really followed, at the time with all the extreme sports and stuff. I didn't follow skateboarding. I didn't follow snowboarding. But I played the games. I played all, like, the snow, like, Cool Boarders and stuff. And I played Tony Hawk and Skate or Die and all these games and everything. And Skitchin' and Road Rash and all this stuff. So, Road Rash was motorcycles. But all those games, the video game stuff of it, I always loved playing. And this is probably a lot of fun. The sports style games on the Sega Dreamcast play very well also. So I am looking forward to trying this out. So this is an interesting title, a game I know nothing about and didn't even know it existed. In fact, being made by MTV Sports, I'm trying to think if there were any MTV Sports games that I am aware of, and I don't think I am aware of any. The only MTV game I remember coming out was Beavis and Butthead on the Sega Genesis and the Super Nintendo. I love those games, but there you have it. Game number 5, Skateboarding. MTV Sports Skateboarding for the Sega Dreamcast is our final game of this box. So let's do a quick recap of what we got tonight in this box, and then we'll pick a winner of the box. So we got Skateboarding on the Sega Dreamcast. We got a duplicate game, 10-Yard Fight for the NES. We got Jeopardy on the Sega Genesis. We got the Namco Museum 64 for the Nintendo 64. And my personal pick as the winner of this box, the first game we pulled, a Capcom arcade classic, 1942 on the NES. This is one of my favorite games, and I think that is awesome that we got it in this box. And then, of course, we got the Trinket featuring a passcode for Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! And I can't wait to see where this brings me to. I'm assuming, because they made him look, they got the tattoo, Mike Tyson's tattoo and everything. I'm assuming this is a code to take you right to the end, right to Mike Tyson. So that's most likely what that is. And the other thing that's really funny is that just the other night, I was playing Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! My kids were down here and I popped it in and went through a whole bunch of fighters. I got pretty far. I got to the point where you started fighting them again. Like I got to the next time you're going through the lineup before you get to Mike Tyson. So it was a pretty good run. There you have it. Video Games Monthly for the month of July 2026. 1942 on the NES is my pick as the winner of this box. But let me know down in the comments which one was your winner. And let me know your thoughts on Video Games Monthly. Until next time, everybody, remember, keep retro gaming alive, because one day your games will be retro too. And I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching that video. Be sure to click that like button and stick around for more content like this right here.